Okay, so we've taken all of our measurements on the crankshaft. We've taken the main journal dimensions, and then we've recorded them, and then we set our bore mic, use the calipers, the micrometers as our standard with the bore mic. You zero it out, and then it looks like we've come up with about, I think, 0 zeros, a little more than 3 thousandths. I think it was 32, which actually means 3 thousandths and 2 10,000ths. So 0.0032. So that's great. We're in a great spot. Once we get to the rods, we'll do the same thing. A lot of our last videos, we went in painstakingly showing everything on the mains and the rods, and I don't think anybody was interested, so just wanted to show that's what we've done. Now we're getting ready to lay the crank in, and then we'll be setting in the rods. So I set my standard, and here we go. Yeah, we're good. We're good. So now that we've got all of our main journal bearings set, we know where we're at on that. Now what I like to do is, before we put the crank in, I like to go and install the cam, because this way I can put my fingers in where it needs to go, and I don't ding up the cam journals. I can sit here and go to each journal and guide the cam in. So here we go. And as I go, I like to spin it to make sure that the cam journals are not too tight. Still spinning freely. As you can see, without the crank in my way, I can sit here and just guide it in gently, and there it is. Now I need to make sure, I need to get a bolt and make sure this thing turns like it should. So just give me a moment and we'll turn it. Okay, now that we've got our cam in, I just want to demonstrate, I like to make sure the cam turns freely, not sloppy, just freely. So, very nice, very nice. If this didn't turn freely like this, and I've had this happen before, we'd have to take it back to the machine shop, and many times they have a tool that's made out of an old cam for each specific engine, and it'll kind of open the clearances up on your cam bearings. Our machine shop did a great job. It's spot on, and I mean, nice and smooth, folks. Okay, so now we set our crank in. We know where all our bearing clearances are at, between 3 and almost 3.5. So really good. So spins really freely and nice. Now we obviously had to put our caps in. We did just like BOP Engineering said, just a dab of the silicone on the edges and in the holes of the main cap where they say to put the silicone in. Again, it's just a little bit. So now we're about to put our main caps in and torque. And by the way, make sure you consult a manual. For instance, Pontiac on the number 5 is 120, and I believe the rest of these are 90, but we have a reference here from Butler Engineering, so Butler Performance. So anyway, here we go. Okay, now we've got everything torqued down. I like to start in the middle and work my way out, but I start, I believe, at number 3. So 100, these were, and I did start at 120. I think we went 40, 80, and then 40 on these, 30, 60, 95 on the mains, and 120 on the number 5 main cap. But everything seems to check out really well. just as nice and just almost like butter. So now we're going to check our thrust clearance. Okay, now we're going to check our thrust clearance on our Pontiac. And let's see what we got. We're going to look at the gauge. Mike got zeroed out. Looks like we got close to about 5 thou. So we're good. I think the min's 3 to 7 is what you want to see. So we're at 5. We're nominal, right in the middle. So I think that concludes what we're going to do for today. Tomorrow we'll probably carry on with checking the clearances on the rod bearings, and then put the spiral locks on the other side, and then getting this short block closer to completion.